Good morning, and welcome to our Sunday Live Dharma. My name is Irene, and I've been meditating with Qi Gong since 2007. As a Carborough native, I was delighted when she opened a temple near my house. Today, the children are doing their own meditation at their residence right now. In this main Dharma hall, our good temple friend Bob Brown, Won Buddhist, will share his Dharma Talk, the Threefold Practice, Cultivation, Inquiry, and Choice. Let us begin by reciting the essential dharmas of daily practice on page 11. The mind is originally free from disturbance, but disturbances arise in response to sensory conditions. Let us restore the equanimity of our true nature by letting go of disturbances. The mind is originally free from delusion, but delusions arise in response to sensory conditions. Let us restore the wisdom of our true nature by letting go of delusions. The mind is originally free from wrongdoing, but wrongdoings arise in response to sensory conditions. Let us restore the precepts of our true nature by letting go of wrongdoings. Let us replace disbelief, greed, laziness, and ignorance with belief, zeal, questioning, and dedication. Let us turn resentment into gratitude. Let us turn dependency into self-reliance. Let us turn reluctance to learn into willingness to learn well. Let us turn reluctance to teach into willingness to teach well. Let us turn lack of public spirit into eagerness to serve the good of all. Now, please stand up and let's join in the happy relaxation Qi Gong movements by Kathleen. Please stand behind your mats.
Good morning. Good morning, friends at home. So this morning, I'd like to share with you some of the movements Reverend Kim has been helping me with to really open our hearts and really strengthen our upper body. But before we do that, let's just wake up our lower body. So start out by just crunching your toes and kind of wiggling your ankle around a little bit on one foot, and then crunching your toes, wiggle around on the other foot. And then let's stand out, feet right under our shoulders. And let's rub our hands together. Choose a knee. And then take that nice warm energy, massage our knee. Okay. And once again, rub hands. Place it on the other knee. Give it nice love and attention. Okay, very good. Now, we're going to focus on our balance. And I think of this as being like a tall tree in the wind. They kind of just blow around. So first, let's gently rock front to back, kind of noticing where you need to pull in your balance. Rock side to side, just shifting your feet. Do a circle, one direction. And the other direction. And now that you've explored all that, find that spot where you're most centered. All right. Now let's breathe in, brings arms up, and let our elbows drop. One more time, coming up, just to heart height, gently oozing down. One last time, up and down. And this time we're going to bring our hands up and start shaking. So this is going to be a warm-up for our arms, hands, and shoulders. Let's bring them up to the top. And we want to really have our arms kind of by our ears. So not forward, but kind of right by our ears as much as you can, shoulders dropped. And then bring our arms down to the side. And then shake out your hands and relax, relax. Next, we're going to be bringing our arms up, but to help really ground us, really think about pressing into the heels of your feet. So feet or heels are really getting that strength, grounding, and we're going to bring our hands up and turn your palms so they're facing the ceiling. Again, arms by the ears, and we're going to mooch back. So 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, 9, 10, 11, 12, 13, 14, 15. Arms come down. Let's do that again. Bring arms up. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, 9, 10, 11, 12, 13, 14, 15. Very good. And now we're going to bring our arms out. Yeah, turn so you don't bump into your friends. Have one palm facing down, one palm facing up. Look at the palm that's facing up. And now pull and stretch. Breathing in. Coming back to center. Turning our hands the other way. Looking at your hand facing up. And down. Other hand. And back. And let's go back and forth at your own pace just a little bit. Stretching, breathing in, releasing, and turning. One last time on each side. And bringing your arms down. Let's work our shoulders a little bit. We're going to keep our hands just relaxed at our sides and draw circles with our shoulders. Let's start by going back. So shoulders come up, back, down, and around. Really drawing circles, taking time to make that. If this doesn't feel good to you or anything, don't do it. Only do what's comfortable. We can go the other direction, coming forward. Nice. Okay, very good. Next, we're going to bring our hands to the side. Focus on the energy of your palms. Imagine you're holding an energy ball on each hand. And I'm going to show you first what we'll do. I'm going to be using my back muscles. When I breathe in, I'm stretching. When I breathe out, I'm going to bring my hands up to this tanjan here. We have 3 tanjans: head, heart center, lower danjan. This one, our hands are going to come up, really focusing on that energy. So let's begin. Breathing in, release and bringing your hands up. Relax back down. This time, bring your hands in the opposite. So whichever hand was first this time, it'll be the other hand next time. Forward. And release. Forward. One more time. All right, breathing in, heart center. Release. Really feel your back. Whew. Opening our hearts and chest. Whew. Opening. Releasing. Opening. Releasing. All right, one more time. Now lower tanjan. Very good. Next, we're going to lace our fingers behind our backs and pull downward. This really opens our hearts. And as we do so, as we breathe in, bring your head down. And we're not going to do full head circles. We're just going to turn to the side, kind of, as far as it goes. It's not very far, just a little. And then breathe out and come to the center. Turn to the other side. Breathe out, come to center. One more time on each side. Now, switch the fingers behind your hands. So mine are this way, and now they're the other way. We're going to do the same thing. Bring our head down to one side, to the other, one side, to the other. And looking back, same thing. Head back, arms stretched, our hearts open, one side, the other. Switch your fingers. Very good. Let's bring our feet together. Let's bring our palms up. Bringing down. Take another breath in. Breathing in. One last time. Now, let's offer 4 bows to Dharmakaya Buddha, fourfold grace. You're welcome to do standing bows or full bows. You may want to stand behind your mat so your knees have some padding.
With gratitude, I bow to the grace of heaven and earth, honoring the infinite source of marvelous existence. With gratitude, I bow to the grace of parents, ancestors, and everyone who has given me life and nurtured me. With gratitude, I bow to the grace of fellow beings, embracing the truth of interconnectedness. With gratitude, I bow to the grace of laws, which guides us to develop justice and freedom through Dharma and universal principles. Meditation is simple and easy. Anyone can practice it. Please take time to find your most comfortable position on a mat, a bench, or in a chair. Wiggle and stretch to release any tension in your body. Then gently rock back and forth until you are balanced and settled, like a peaceful mountain. Breathe in, and as you breathe out, release any tension or uneasiness. Relax and gently bring your focus to your lower abdomen. Allow yourself to settle into belly breathing. As you breathe in, your lower belly gently expands. When you release your breath, your lower belly gently shrinks. Our lower belly is home to our whole body. It is the storehouse of our vital Qi energy. We call it the Tanjan, our Qi energy field. Take a moment to breathe deeply from your Tanjan, settle your mind, and focus there. Now bring your awareness to your tongue. Place the tip of your tongue on the roof of your mouth, right behind your 2 front teeth. When your tongue rests there, pure and clear saliva may gather in the mouth. This is a delightful sign of cool energy ascending. Smile at your calm and clear spirit and swallow. If your face or body begins to itch, simply observe the itching and let it pass. If your legs ache unbearably, you may change position very slowly and quietly so you maintain a calm stillness and honor the silent practice of those around you. When thoughts arise in your mind, do not play with them. As you exhale, let them float away like clouds, or invite them to settle down and meditate with you. Continue to bring your awareness back to your Tanshan abiding breath. When your mind is calm, concentrated, perfectly focused, and at peace, you will rest in the realm of samadhi, deep meditation. You will be free from the distinction between yourself and others and the limits of time and place. We are grateful to sit together quietly, finding the still point within. May we be here now, deeply aware of our ever calm, ever alert spirit.
Page 4. Youngju Prayer Chant. Today we'll chant in English. Youngju, the spiritual energy of heaven and earth settles in my being. My spirit penetrates all things as my mind wills. Heaven, earth, and I become one. I am one with the way of heaven and earth. The spiritual energy of heaven and earth settles in my being. My spirit penetrates all things as my mind wills. Heaven, earth, and I become one. I am one with the way of heaven and earth. The spiritual energy of heaven and earth settles in my being. My spirit penetrates all things as my mind wills. Heaven, earth, and I become I am one with the way of heaven and earth. The spiritual energy of heaven and earth settles in my being. My spirit penetrates all things as my mind wills. Heaven, earth, and I become one. I am one with the way of heaven and earth. The spiritual energy of heaven and earth settles in my being. My spirit penetrates all things as my mind wills. Heaven, earth, and I become one. I am one with the way of heaven and earth. The spiritual energy of heaven and earth settles in my being. My spirit penetrates all things as my mind wills. Heaven, earth, and I become one. I am one with the way of heaven and earth. The spiritual energy of heaven and earth settles in my being. My spirit penetrates all things as my mind wills. Heaven, earth, and I become one. I am one with the way of heaven and earth. Let's put our palms together. Prayer for world peace. Grace of heaven and earth, grace of parents, grace of fellow beings, grace of laws. O Dharma Kaya Buddha, fourfold grace, may we take refuge in Dharma and be filled with compassion and wisdom. May we transform delusion into wisdom, greed into generosity, resentment into gratitude, discord into harmony, and hatred into compassion. May all nations grow and benefit mutually. May the strong help the weak, and may the weak learn and evolve according to Dharma. May all those who have died from world conflicts and disasters be delivered through all obstacles and be at rest. May there be peace throughout the world, and may all beings enjoy tranquility and happiness, living in their original true nature. This we pray with our whole hearts. I wish and pray sincerely and truly, where my hands touch the world, where my feet walk on the earth, where my voice echoes through the hills, and in all realms where my heart and mind reach, that we all together all together share true affinity for attaining great enlightenment and for helping all living beings. Page 9, Sutra Chanting.
Speech, the gateway of birth and death, transcending being and non-being, the origin of heaven and earth, parents, fellow beings and laws, the true nature of all Buddhas, enlightened masters, unenlightened people, and sentient beings, till one manifests as both permanence and impermanence, viewed as permanence, still one unfolds into an infinite world that is ever abiding, spontaneous, just as it is, viewed as impermanence, still one unfolds into infinite worlds through the cycle of formation, duration, decay, and extinction of the universe, and the birth, aging, illness, and death of all beings, according to how we use our minds and bodies. In the four forms of birth we transform through the six crumbs of existence, progressing or regressing, with grace arising from harm or harm from grace. Therefore we unawakened beings vow to practice wholeheartedly, modeling ourselves after Won Sangha, Dharma, Kaya, Buddha, by cultivating our minds and bodies deeply, knowing human affairs and universal principles thoroughly, and using our minds and bodies skillfully, thus progressing rather than regressing, and receiving grace rather than harm, until we attain the great empowerment of will one, and become one with the nature of will one.
This morning, our good temple friend, Bob Brown, Won Buddhist, will share his Dharma talk, the Threefold Practice, Cultivation, Inquiry, and Choice. Let us practice deep listening as we welcome Bob.
Thank you for that introduction, and welcome to everyone here in the temple and at home on a rather drizzly Super Bowl Sunday. My topic is taken from our founding Master Sotasan's Threefold Practice, and it has to do with inquiry. It has a lot to do with my attraction to Won Buddhism, and it's an integral part of my own practice. But first, let me tell you a little more about myself so you'll understand why I chose this topic. I was trained as a scientist with a bachelor's and PhD in animal nutrition and physiology. After 9 years of college, I spent the next 41 years teaching, doing research, and doing applied research in biomedical and applied research with wild animals, which is a whole nother story. But as an academic, over those many 50 years, I advised undergraduate and graduate students, taught courses, and I published, edited, or reviewed literally hundreds of scientific papers, popular articles, theses, dissertations, research proposals. So what did that do to my brain? I think it gave me a bias towards questioning everything. I've even questioned everything from my students and colleagues, our local politicians, my doctor's recommendations, to the comments of the TV weather person. What are your qualifications? What are your sources of information? How accurate are your predictions about science, politics, the economy, or even the weather? And in my rather extensive readings over the years on religion, of course, I questioned Christianity, Islam, Hinduism, and other religions, including fundamental Buddhism. But in Won Buddhism, I found that questioning is not only encouraged, it's embedded in our religion. In fact, when my mentor, Ginger, who some of you may know, invited me here to tea to talk about joining the Kododan, I brought 3 pages of questions, and she answered them all politely. So when I examined how the concept of inquiry fit into Master Sotasan's 4 focal points, I can see why he needs us to be inquisitive, to meet his purpose. This is an indication of his wisdom. He needs us to be a questioning Sangha to understand and be able to use his Dharma in our daily lives. And in his Dharma, he gives us detailed guidance as to how to evaluate our endeavors and achieve our goals to develop a community of practitioners. Early in the scriptures, Master Sotasan instructed that the threefold practice consists of spiritual cultivation for mental calmness and concentration, or samadhi, inquiry into facts and principles for wisdom, prajna, and mindful choice in karmic action for morality, sila, and enlightenment, bodhi. He further explained that mindful concentration is not enough. We must know the facts of human affairs, right and wrong, gain and loss, prosperity and decline, birth and death, as well as the metaphysical principles of our universe, nomenon and phenomenon, existence and non-existence. He even included the need for knowledge of our atmospheric phenomena, like the 4 seasons. His purpose in encouraging inquiry was for us to attain the ability to analyze and pass prompt and accurate judgment on practical daily affairs. Early in his Dharma, he tells us of the need for questioning. Modeling ourselves wholeheartedly on the exceedingly radiant way of heaven and earth, we should inquire into the myriad human affairs and universal principles and know them thoroughly. Then he explains very briefly what he means. Questioning means wanting to discover and know what we do not know about human affairs and universal principles, which is the motive force that reveals why we are ignorant, what we are ignorant of, when we try and accomplish anything. He briefly explains how to do this. by inquiring into both human affairs and universal principles, analyze the false and spurious, as well as the factual and true, and then adjudicate correctly right and wrong and benefit and harm. That may not always be easy. So then, in rather great detail, he explains what this is all about. And this is important because some of the words he uses may not have the meanings that we might expect. Human affairs means right and wrong, benefit and harm among human beings. Universal principles means the great and small, being and non-being of heavenly creation. Great means the original essence of all things in the universe. Small means that the myriad phenomenon are distinguished by their shapes and forms. Being and non-being means the cycle of nature's 4 seasons of spring, summer, fall, and winter, as well as wind, clouds, rain, dew, frost, and snow, and birth, death, aging, sickness, and death of all things. And finally, the transformation of creation and destruction, flourishing and decay. Inquiry means studying and mastering human affairs and universal principles. And again, in even more detail, he tells us why inquiry is so important. The world is vast. There are infinite types of principles, as there are many people. There are limitless types of human affairs. However, the suffering and happiness that might inadvertently occur and the suffering and happiness that we create for ourselves are the consequences of our own making through the operation of our 6 senses. That's a good bit to digest. Then, in our scriptures, he shares our objective. Therefore, our aim is, by inquiring into the unfathomable principles of heavenly creation and the multifarious affairs of humanity, to know them through clear analysis and quick adjudication when confronted with them in real life. And finally, he tells us the consequences of these actions. If we continue for a long time with the work of inquiry into human affairs and universal principles, we will generate the power of wisdom that knows without obstructions in analyzing and adjudicating the myriad affairs and universal principles. And ultimately, we will gain the power of inquiry. And of course, Master Sotasan was not alone in these beliefs. As Albert Einstein once said, the important thing is to not stop questioning. In chapter 3, or practice of our scriptures, Master Sotasan detailed how to go about this inquiry. First, in all your actions, strive to gain knowledge regarding each particular matter. Second, strive to exchange opinions with teachers and colleagues. Third, if points of doubt arise while you are seeing, listening, and thinking, strive to resolve your doubts by following the proper order of inquiry. Fourth, strive diligently to deepen your acquaintance with our scriptures. And finally, fifth, after deepening your acquaintance with our scriptures, broaden your knowledge and perspective by consulting the scriptures of all previous schools. How cool is that? He even specified what to do when we visit temples. Whenever you come to temple while practicing items of heedfulness in daily applications, be heedful to engage in questions and answers about every one of those activities. And again, throughout history, he had lots of agreement. Sir Francis Bacon once said, "If we begin with certainties, we shall end with doubts. But if we begin with doubts and we're patient with them, we will end with certainties." I really like this quote because it speaks to the difference between doubt and inquiry. Many religions suggest that faith is absolutely necessary, so you won't have any doubt. But I believe that doubt simply leads to questioning, which is inquiry, which leads to answers. So I'll close with a statement that I read some time ago, which affirms my bias towards questioning most things. Master Sotasan's insistence that inquiry be a fundamental part of Won Buddhism, and therefore how inquiry is such an important part of my own personal practice. For those who accept a life of self-exploration, the journey offers the ecstasy of all that is possible. along with the agony of unattainable perfection. It's a solitary road into the unknown self and offers no destination but a journey. But for those who follow, it does lead somewhere, and such a life will never be uninteresting. Thank you.
That was a master class. And I, for one, am grateful that we record these Dharma talks and post them on our YouTube page so we can watch them over again, because that is rich with information. Really appreciate that. And for me, one thing that stood out was thinking about the infinite principles and unfathomable number of human affairs, but also thinking about the six senses and how we can bring that back to our own six senses. So friends at home, during the next few minutes, you're welcome to continue enjoying your contemplation of Bob's Dharma Talk, or share your takeaways in the live chat. And friends here in the Dharma Hall, in the ethos of inquiry, please pair up in groups of 2 to 3 and share your thoughts and takeaways with each other. Thank you.
Thank you for your enthusiastic conversation. You can keep on conversing after the service out in the foyer or in the Dharma hall about this with your friends. I remember during my school days, or seminary school days, and when it's on vacation, I went to visit my teachers, and she or he asked me, "Do you have any questions on your practice?" When I when I say like that, and that means you either know all or you're not practicing. So, like, inquiry or questions are highly encouraged in our practice and are one of the best ways to cultivate our wisdom. So, thank you, Bob, for reminding us of all of that. So speaking of inquiry, we are happy to announce the Won Buddhism 201 class, A Closer Look. Please join the class for a deep dive into Won Buddhist teachings and philosophy on March 2nd. This is a wonderful opportunity for those who have already taken the Won Buddhism intro class to go to the next level. And some of you may wondering, where is Reverend Won Gong? She is enjoying her time with children meditation in the residence. We love to have a children's program every other week. And on your way out, you can see this temple annual calendar. We have wonderful classes and special events, so please bring this calendar and mark it on your calendar. So, any other announcements?
Yes, we do. So this afternoon at 4 p.m., you are invited to join the Raleigh Temple's peaceful community meditation and Dharma contemplation. Did you know that our Raleigh Temple will be celebrating its 10th anniversary this year? Same age as Bodhi and Crest. On your way out, you are welcome to grab our annual temple calendar so that you can mark those special event days. A reminder, for a spring mountain retreat in April, Reverend Won Gong and Patty will be at the Southern Dharma Retreat Center outside of Asheville, North Carolina. Please check out our website for this week-long silent retreat. If you cannot join this week-long retreat, we will also have a half-day spring retreat in March at our Raleigh Temple in the Daffodil Garden and Falls Lake Woods. And if you are on our community email group, you will receive all the updates about all of our upcoming wonderful events. And if you're not, please do sign up. There's a sign up in the foyer, and I think you can sign up online as well. Now let us turn to page 13 and bless each other with our morning prayer song.
I begin a new day in your presence. Today full of health and with peace of mind. May I walk along the path of the Buddha. Dharmakaya Buddha, fourfold grace. I begin a new day with your grace. Today, gratefully and with gentle words, may I live in harmony with all those I meet. Dharmakaya Buddha, fourfold grace. I begin a new day with compassion. Today, making the world a more loving place. May I do all that I can for one world. Thank you for your presence this morning. Have a wonderful week. Let's say bye to the friends online looking at the camera. Thank you.